I bet you can't figure this out. If I were to hand you this folder on the street, we ran into each other, start talking knives, and I was like, yeah, go ahead and open this knife. I think you'd have a really hard time because it's not coming out this way. There's no nail nicks, there's no thumb holes, there's no push button, anything. There's nothing. I mean, this is tight in there and you are not gonna be, what the? I mean, this is like a little surprise package, you know, magic trick that the CRKT USA made Mishika pocket knife has. Its deployment is nice and quick and snappy. And if you don't know what you're doing and you're not familiar with the knife, you'll have no idea how to open and close the tool, which is kind of cool. And it gives a little bit of notoriety, but also a little bit of stealthness to the design as well. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another gear review here at Gideonstactical. I'm Aaron, and we're gonna dive into this blade, this MagnaCut steel designed by Philip Booth with his, I won't say proprietary, I don't know, it's his design, scale release. That is what it is. And when I actually got this, it took me about 5 minutes to figure it out. But basically, it is technically an automatic knife, so it's something to be aware of, but there are no actuating buttons anywhere on it, and it's the scale itself. When you push the scale like that, it slides, I'm gonna try and get it in the light there, it slides on a little track, and that releases the blade. And you can see how the spine kind of kicks up just a little bit right there when you do that. And then that's the lock as well. So it's kind of like a lock back. We have a little bit of play because it's, you know, spring loaded, but after the play, like it moves slightly and then it locks and then back and locks. I mean, it is in there and I believe operates basically like that lock back design. And in order to collapse it, you have to press only on that one side of the scale and then close the blade. And it's locked in there. I mean, it's not coming out. And then with the meat of your palm right there, you just hit it, and that is what releases it. And that's it. Boom. And then you can close it. So it took a little bit of getting used to. There is definitely a learning curve with this knife. Now, once you get the learning curve, look at how fast I can use it. Now, it's gonna be tough to deploy in a reverse. I have to kind of do, let's see if I can do it. Boom, a pinch. You know, it's not super easy to do in a reverse. But in a general, pull out of your pocket, boom, that's how fast it is. And it is real quick. And like that stealth level. So if that's something that you're into, it's a very interesting, but once you get it, intuitive launching design that Philip Booth came up with. And I've seen this on like one or two other blades. I think Benchmade at some point had something similar. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that back in the day. So real cool design. Let's go ahead and dive into some other aspects, particularly that blade shape, MagnaCut, American made. Great to see CRKT doing that. But before we dive in, I want to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, which is HUCKBERRY. And they are an excellent source for high quality gear and apparel. And there's one apparel brand in particular that's been redefining the way I stay cool and comfortable while I'm on the move in all of my activities, and it's Wellen. For instance, the Soul Performance Collection, which is crafted from Wellen's signature Cool Soft fabric, providing incredible comfort, quick drying tech, along with UV protection. So I stay protected and comfortable whether I'm hitting the trail or casting a line with the Soul Performance hoodie, or snagging a quick jog and wanting to catch some rays at the lake in the Soul Performance tee. But Wellen's got you covered in the lower half as well with their performance lined swim trunks. And I gotta tell you guys, these swim trunks aren't just for the water, though they excel in that, but I've used them on many of my active adventures, going on hikes with them, jogging with them, doing all sorts of different activities. And after that long day of adventuring, I can hop in the hot tub with my wife, and they work perfectly in that environment as well. So I've found that whatever adventures I have come across this summer, Wellen has got me covered. And these are just a few of the designs that Wellen Activewear offers. So I will have a link in the description box below this video, as well as is popping up in the corner right now, over to the HUCKBERRY website, as well as my exclusive 10% off promo code that you can apply towards your very first purchase. So I invite you to discover the perfect blend of style, comfort, and performance in Wellen activewear. So, and to have something with magnet cut as well is always exciting to see. 3 1/4 inches overall blade length. We have a flat grind with a secondary swedge right there. High flat grind, great edge geometry, 0.13 on the stock thickness back here. And then tapering to that nice spear point. Magnet cut, as you are probably familiar with at this point, good rust resistant capability, good edge retention, good durability, not that hard to resharpen. You can grab any, sharpener, ceramic mug even, and just hone the edge. And if it ever gets damaged, you can just flip and do that if necessary. And this is their like pocket sharpener, I think is what WorkSharp calls that. If you just need a basic sharpener for under 20 bucks, that's like one of the best options available. I'll have something popping up right now if you are interested in that. But for general utility EDC, this is absolutely gonna get the job done, but has a lot of piercing capability if necessary. And I believe the tool itself has a lot of, even though there's no jimping anywhere, just the design really gives you some good purchase. So in a last ditch self-defense roll if necessary, I feel like with that shelf right there, bam, I feel pretty locked in, and I could definitely do that. And with just over 3 inches, gives you some reach to boot. But general utility, general piercing, cutting through cardboard, doing the things that you're gonna do on a daily basis, this knife matched with that steel, American made, is gonna get the job done. Now, I do not know the Rockwell. I looked everywhere, could not find the Rockwell. I'm not sure. I know CRKT has partnered with Hogue on a few of their other blades. I don't know if Hogue is helping them with this, but Hogue always does awesome stuff. So I would argue that this is the edge retention has been holding up great for me. Haven't had any issues. Now, as we go along, we've already seen the deployment. We've already seen all that. You can get black on black, or they do have like a white G10 version as well on the handle. So there's 2 different color options. The handle fills out my large size hands with just enough real estate. It would have been nice to have a little bit more. We have a pretty large ricasso. They've done a good job milling everything. It's a little flat right here, so there is some like blockiness to the design, but I didn't have any issues with it for an EDC knife. No issues there. I can rest my finger right there on the very large handle block, I guess. It's not a ricasso, but right there. And then I can get finer work done, pinch pull cuts if I need to. And the G10 has a pretty smooth texture to it. So just to be aware of that. It's not heavy G10 like on a cold steel. Here's a CJRB. This is like medium grit G10. This is like high polished G10. So something to be aware of right there. The blade is nice and centered and the tip is nice and recessed. I'm not gonna accidentally bite myself right there on the tip. Now the loop over, deep ride, large pocket clip. We have a little bit of a flip there. Does have some good flex to it. Not overly flexy and not too rigid. 2 recessed screws, way to go CRKT. That's how you do a pocket clip. That's how you do recessed screws, except for no ambi. And part of that is because of the scale. It's just the way the action is there. I don't know how, it would be pretty tough to get, screws in there as well, maybe, but 10% of you, sorry, you're gonna have to carry it on your, right-hand pocket, one way or the other, no matter what. So it is a little heavy at 5.1 ounces. So that is something to be aware of and to consider compared to some other EDCs. And let's go ahead and talk pricing and some competitive options as we dive into that. Pricing, 300 bucks. So it is pricey. For Magnet Cut, it is an auto, so that is something to consider, but with the extra proprietary, exclusive, I don't know what word we want to use, deployment, some of those things, it's definitely on the high end for Magnet Cut. Now, it's nice that it's made in America, and I do appreciate CRKT hooking me up with this model so I could break down the pros and cons and help you determine for yourself. And I will have not only a link popping up right here if you're interested in this, but also in the description box below, along with the competitive options that I'm gonna run in here. The one other from CRKT, not an auto, but I just wanna show you what they're starting to do, and it's really nice to see them start to make some American-made knives. This one is also in Magnet Cut. This is a Ken Onion design. What is this? The dead wood? Dead something, I can't remember. Coffin design, 4-inch dagger, great crossbar lock, G10, bolsters. I mean, really cool design, right around that same price point, if I remember correctly, and really well executed. So that is a really cool CRKT option. Good recessed screws again, good pocket clip. Just something very different than the blade we're looking at, than the Mishika, but a very good offering in the USA MagnaCut realm that CRKT is starting to do. Now, if we look at other autos, I have 3 here. Let's look at a Benchmade first. I love, boom, that sucker right there. The Claymore pocket knife, CPM, D2 steel, great steel when it's done, you know, in America, CPM. Very tough, but also good edge retention. This is definitely like a tactical knife. Great action on it though, nice and snappy. Got a little play side to side and up and down like a lot of OTFs, or excuse me, autos do. Good giant plunge lock there. You can get it with the Tonto, or you can get it with a drop point as well. And they have the mini and the full size now. This is the full size, just to give you some perspective. This blade, the Mishica, is definitely more in line with the mini size range. I prefer the full size between the two, but there's another American-made blade, not MagnaCut, but just a little option. Then I got 2 other or I keep saying OTFs, autos. These are obviously not gonna have that cool secret feature, and that's the party trick with this model, is that, you know, handle scale activation. These are just push button. These are from the launch series from Kershaw. I forget off the top of my head, so I'll be running them in. I have swapped out the pocket clips with the Bel Air pocket clip, which you can request from Kershaw. But S35VN, like 150 bucks on this model. Really cool. Great utility knife, but has like a dagger handle. The blade shape is very utilitarian and reminds me a lot of the blade shape on the Mishica, but the handle is definitely more of like a stiletto, dagger, got G10 inlays with aluminum and made in America. S35VN, not quite as exotic as MagnaCut, but definitely a good performer. Then we have here, oh yeah, right around the same cost, 150-ish. And this launch as well, again, I think maybe the 14. This one has like their grip tape kind of vibe, those like rubberized grip tape that we knew from the old Kershaw blurs that are still rocking and now can be picked up in MagnaCut. This one has M4 steel, Tanto blade. You can get it serrated or non-serrated. This is a freaking awesome knife for around that same cost, about 150. M4 steel is a carbon, so you gotta maintain it and it could rust on you, but wow, does it have edge retention. That definitely surpasses MagnaCut. Way better edge retention than MagnaCut. MagnaCut has the rust resistance though. And then I swapped out for the Bel Air pocket clip. I'll try to have a link where you can like request that popping up right now. But this is just another option, just giving you kind of more food for thought on, you know, other knives that aren't gonna have that really secret stealthy feature. But if you like autos and you're looking for some variants, those are some that are available. But hats off to CRKT, making a really interesting design. Let me know what you guys think about this deployment. Do you like it? Do you not? Is it worthwhile? Particularly if you own one, do you find you carrying it a lot? Or is it more of kind of like just a topical piece and not something you actually use in utility tasks? Always appreciate your guys' data and your comments. Thanks for hanging with me today. Check out the other video popping up and subscribe if you haven't yet. Until next time, always remember to stay equipped. Let's see if I can do it left-handed. Stay prepared. See you out there.